we need to talk about our culture a lot. I remember as a kid, all I ever heard was, like, oh, the best films in the world are American. Now we're soon realizing that, Hollywood doesn't own everything, and other nations have taken over, and they have their own culture and their own kind of films to talk about. That's why festivals are really important, so the rest of the world understands your culture through your films also. So I know you had this question of convention centers, but I don't see the thing about convention center and film festivals. That's fine, it's okay. So it's a really, really important thing, and we should go on pushing it and really, creating more and more ideas at the festival. It's important.
So, hi, I'm Shama from Doordarshan, so you're back. I'm sure you're not supposed to say anything about the movie, but is there one element which you found similar in all these movies, given the fact that there's global turmoil going on, geopolitical tensions? Did you see something like that in the movies?
Yeah, they were all shot with cameras.
Apart from that.
If there was one element in movies, we wouldn't watch them. Creativity is about something different. How do you push boundaries? How do you create something completely different? It's like music, If it was one note, you wouldn't listen to it. It goes like that. So there has to be, of course. If we could, we would not come to festivals.
To the other members, you've seen the Indian films as well, the ones that have come for the competition. How do you find them? Especially, the ones that are super hit in here.
Again, we cannot talk about.
That's a very loaded
Okay,
question.
got that.
It is a very loaded question. Be careful.
What I can say about Film Bazaar, I do agree it's very important to have the young directors here, and a lot of distributors and producers come from all around the world, not only to see the film which they will see in other festivals, but to see and discover the new projects and to be able to share them with Indian producer and to co-produce. And it is very important to have this world commitment from the beginning, because it gives publicity to the film before it is made, and it settled it in other countries. And as you said, Shekhar, it's important to share our culture and to share our films. So Film Bazaar and iffi should be as much as possible linked.
Shekhar, this question is to you. So you've been world over watching films and being part of many festivals as well, and maybe jury also. But how have you seen the Indian regional films evolved over the years? I mean, this year, of course, one of the films took the center stage at an international arena. But even in this film, how do you have, in general, how has the regional films evolved over the years in India?
A few years ago, I was the chairman of the Film Awards, and I got a chance to look at what we call regional films, and I realized that we should not call them regional films. Some of them are so much better as the kind of films that I saw what we call Bollywood. What happens is the media gives attention, and so the glare of the media hides some of the real talents. And frankly, this year, what we call regional films, I'll call them films, they're different language films, they're not regional at all, came to the forefront, and we're very lucky to see that there's huge amounts of talent lying outside Bombay.
Sir, I'm Rajababu from Filmy Beat from Hyderabad. Sir, in Indian cinema, RRR, Bahubali, and other movies are commercially doing well. How would you see these commercial movies at world level, world cinema?
The question, I'm going to take that, is there was some, like, the name mentioned mostly is the Bahubali from the same director, or RRR. How is Indian cinema, is Indian films, are they impacting world cinema? That's your question?
Yes, sir.
I think Indian
films are becoming, people are understanding that it's not just Bollywood. I take Checker's point that you're a federation with lots of different voices, and some of the films that we've had the privilege to see are very strong, but they would not be called Bollywood films, and I think that awareness is growing. You're lucky here, you have a very strong audience, so economically you can survive on your local audience. I'm Australian and our audience numbers are smaller, so we must always look to the world to make our films perform not only in Australia but globally. So I can see more and more collaboration between Australia and India as time goes on. If we creatively share the idea, like an Indian writer, Australian actor, we now have an official co-production treaty, so it will just raise awareness of possible ways to get projects over the line, because they're expensive to do.
Yeah.
Sir, earlier we called Tamil cinema, Telugu cinema, Bollywood cinema. Now barriers are removed in Indian cinema. How do you feel that?
Sorry, I don't understand the question.
So earlier there is barriers for the language films. Now it's no barriers for the Indian cinema. How do you feel? How do you see this change present day?
I think what you're saying is, we should have cinema in every language, every culture that we have in India. We are one of the most diverse. There are more languages in India than there are anywhere else in the world. We make films in more languages than anywhere else in the world. So why should not our culture be represented there? Right? Yeah.
Thank you.
I think sorry, just to add something. I think the film which have been the most successful in France are the films which are really anchored in their own culture from India. Not trying to make a film for all the world, but the most specific anchored in the culture, in a different language, which language it can be, of course, very diverse, are the most interesting for the French audience, and probably for
So this is a question to all of them in the panel. The question is, how could we make India the global hub for special effects and animation? The global hub and the topmost.
I think
Now might be there are a few countries which are leading.
When you say special effects animation, you're 4 months too late to ask that question. The question is anybody here going to have a job after artificial intelligence?
People always have. To run the artificial intelligence, we need people. 3 lakh jobs in America, that not the highest paid jobs are people who can speak with Chat GPT. Is paid $3 lakh. I mean, the highest paid jobs are in there. And you still need a lot of them to operate at
So I'll tell you what, I think that in the new forms that visual effects are going to take place, is going to change with artificial intelligence coming in. And I think that India, actually outside China, has the largest technological based technical people, coders and things like that, anywhere in the world. So really we have probably in any one day more DOPs working in Mumbai than all of the US put together in one day. So that's how much content we make. And so we have world's largest base of content. We have the world's largest base of technology, people working with technology. And we have more teenagers living in India than anywhere else in the world. So really, India should do really well in these aspects.
Sir, good morning, sir. The chairman of the festival,
Yeah,
chairman of the festival, hi. After submission of all the members of the jury, you are the final authority to decide. So on what grounds to decide? Because everybody is from different part of the world. Their analysis of the film and the story and the film making will be different. But finally, how you come to conclusion that how you finalize the best awards for that?
there is no final authority in any film. any film that I've done that did well with the audience, I say, see, the audience knows. And if it flops, I say, the audience don't understand my film. They don't get it. There's no final authority on any creative art. Paintings that were done 25 years ago were not allowed, now they're allowed. So it is just a kind of a judgment that we have, and people together find. So, you know, there is no final authority. On no creative work, there is ever a final authority, ever.
When you did the blockbusters like this,
Yeah.
Happily.
Happily, yeah.
so when you made a film like Mr. India and all that, the blockbusters, those era films and the present genre films, which are the pan-India, they call the pan-India films, and they do a lot of experiments with South, North, East, West, directors, actors, technicians, and moving to the Oscar Awards. How you rate the present genre films?
In India?
Yeah, in India.
What do you mean by genre films?
The genre of films which you have made and the genre of the films
Me?
which are, yeah.
Personally?
Yes.
I've never, sorry, this is becoming about me, so we need to bring it. No, I've never repeated a genre. Every film I made is a different genre.
But the present triple R, like Bahubali, how you see these films as a
You know,
director?
I think that Bahubali is a really good film. Really, really good film. So, again, I'm not the final authority. I really like the film. But then it was huge on the box office. That doesn't mean the box office is final authority. You know. So,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Thank you, friends, and a very big thanks to the jury members. And
I just want Jérôme to make a statement, please, because you've been involved for how many years now with film festivals?
Difficult for me to do a final word, but no, I've been involved, but in the market, so
Yeah,
it's in the
that's
dark side of the festival.
Yeah.
No, but no. Again, it is really, it has been a great pleasure, and I think for all the jury, we want to really thank everyone in the festival